General, HOK Field Marshal, you know? None of them can bother dance on the top. Violate the general, end up in a blood clot funeral home. Anchor the AK, Jabari got the chrome. Hector West the how we sending them home. Regina the alley with a Cuban and a galley. Send you back on Nile Valley with a shot in your toe intellectually. How click the link if your scholarship sloppy. Or if just want make you cry with the truth. No lie, my youth, him a real historian. 21 gun salute for commission. Not a brother, a hustle, a move like all I found the black woman not all like Ulls and the Yana for sister freedom. I the whole panel know what time for Bible thumping the minute them see me come. Reviation set from to the trendsetter. None of them can mother dance on it. None of them can mother dance on it. Them got a podcast but saw better.
Coast to coast, we be banging. Bringing all this knowledge, we be slanging. In the HOK, we don't do no entertaining.
The truth, speak it fast.
What the niggas just a layman. Better get on one accord. The future can be yours. Ancestors push you more. We gotta go explore the sciences and math. The future's based on class. You bout to catch my wrath. We turning up this track.
In the dark minds of the light.
The dark heart still fight. We gotta make this right. Talk right now. We learn how to stand up and stand proud. No man down. We fam now. House of the cops in my clan now.
From here the trendsetter. None of them can mother dance on it. None of them can mother dance on it. Them got a podcast but saw better.
When I look at you niggas, I see what I'm not. Go take him, a little bit of her, mix it with them, I put him in a pot. Still can't get none like me. It might sound the same, but it's unlikely. One white tee, if I lift it up, you niggas gonna see what it come might be. I thought I told ya. Affirmation, revelation, we some soldiers. Sinetta put this team together, now it's over. We got the weight of the world up on my shoulder. When you get conscious information, hearts turn colder. Now look at these trappers who rapping the same, so stuck in their lane, systemically, chemically. I'm thinking something is wrong with their brain. As long as they paid and flying the chain, I got nothing to say. They in love with the gang. I traded my gang for change, and now that I changed, a few things still say the same.
Frankie are the trendsetter. None of them can mother dance on it. None of them can mother dance on it. Them got a podcast but saw better.
Peace, 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 peace. Assalamu alaikum, hotep, namaste, jambo, ashe, shalom. Hello, love you. Good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you are. I am Napashada. This is Sheikha Tiba. We're going to get right into it. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button. Please subscribe. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to the audience. I know it's late, but it's still great. It's early somewhere, right, Sheikha? We're going to go ahead and let Sheikha break down some information on the Romeka Meeks case, because this is serious. So anyway, she could take the mic.
So we were talking about this in the background, and the reason why I've been keeping up with this case, and you know, I have to, hey, cut it out. I'm sorry, my dog wants to talk. But I've been keeping up with this case for so long because I felt like the precedent it would have set for this woman to get off, or at least not have her day in court, would have been like, oh, if I'm not with the father of my child, now they can, you know, bait me and then murder me, and nothing's to be said because an order of protection that was never served, and the two young ladies never met. So I'll keep this as fair as possible. And so I actually ran across Big Keys. And at first, Big Keys was against Romeka. Like, why'd you stop? How come you keep it moving? He then actually went to the scene and actually drove the scene. Well, you have to make that U-turn. There was a U-turn that had to be made. And so the father of her child's car was out there. Carlos was out there. So when it was out there, she stops. Well, she had to make that U-turn to get to the highway. And so
did she plan on meeting him? Wait, I gotta jump in. Did she plan on meeting him?
No, I don't think that there was plans on meeting him.
Okay.
I think perhaps, I mean, this is just pure assumption. Maybe she heard the girl was in town. Maybe her calls were not answered because usually he was involved in dropping the young son off as well.
Oh, wow.
So now you're not available. What is the problem?
What's the problem?
So they actually get into the altercation first.
So no, go. I stopped you. You were talking about the drive.
Yeah. So she drives. She makes a U-turn. She pulls up, and her baby daddy's car is out there, and she pulls up behind him. So now she's actually kind of blocked in by his car. Okay. So she gets out. Her and Carlos are the ones who had the altercation where the police were first called. It was not the two young ladies. It was her and Carlos having this altercation. He was hitting her with the door, trying to make her go inside the car, like get out of here, whatever. So she gets in the car eventually after being hit multiple times with the car door. The Holly girl, Quadesia, she comes up in front of her car, starts beating on the hood, starts talking stuff to her, telling her to get out, right? So as anybody who would be upset, she gets out and she's like, what you want to do? Carlos then takes her. Now, according to the court documents that Tia Ewing, who is the reporter,
witness.
No, this is the reporter who read the court documents out loud. According to her, Carlos then grabbed her in a chokehold and then started hitting her with her other hand. And I was like, what? Because I had not known that piece at all. What the witness stated is that he had her in a hold and she was trying to wiggle out and ended up in a chokehold. But what the court document said is that he put her in a chokehold and then he began to strike her.
Yes.
So I'm like, what? So this is now sounding like an ambush, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as Carlos let go, she was shot. But what happened in between that? Quadesia went and retrieved her gun.
Yes.
Came back and then shot her in the face.
In the face.
Leg, thigh, I think 4 times. There were 2 shots.
No. First in the face, dropped down, went over her and fired on her. That's what I heard.
Ooh, I didn't know about that. But there was a pause in between her first firing and then there was more firing of shots.
Yeah, that's the pause. Boom, hit. He let her go. She dropped down. She came up and continued shooting.
Oh my God. And so Big Keys points out the blood splatter, where it was at. It was not, because you assume that she's far away, but she wasn't that far away. She was up close. So so then she's down on the floor. And I want to point out this, okay? I know many of you have tumultuous relationships with people that you have children with. I'm sorry if the father of my child was on the floor with his face blown off.
God, please.
I am going insane. You know, I am going to cry. He did not let a 10-man's TT tear.
No,
out. So
I heard he high-fived her.
Yeah, he gave her fist bump.
Fist pump. Yeah,
he fist bumped the other girl. Yeah, it was self-defense, right? What type of sociopath does not let out a tear, not even for his son who's about to lose his mother in the street?
Lost his mom.
This seems cold, calculated, and planned. Okay. Right. Then, you know, she's saying that she has a license to carry. Well, in Illinois, there are specific gun rules. Okay. First of all, if you have a license to carry outside of the state, you're supposed to have that gun unloaded and in a
pew pew so YouTube won't get the.
I'm sorry. Pew,
no,
pew.
it's okay. The algorithm, YouTube, like, and also try to say unalived. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's just so we can keep the video in circulation. But go ahead.
So the pew pew laws is that if you have the license outside of the state, it must be unloaded and locked in a locked compartment. Well, how do you run to the car, go get it if you are following those particular rules? You are not. And not only that, when you run to the car to retrieve a pew pew, right? That's no longer self-defense because you had time to retreat and go to the car.
That's premeditated. Well, at least second degree.
Yeah, they were not directly outside of this man's home, so you can't say that you are standing ground. No. You
could just stand your ground. Not Chicago, but over here, it doesn't matter if you're home. If someone's coming after you. So I just want to say that's what I know about the gun laws. You can stand your ground even if you're out. That means that if you're minding your business wherever you are and someone approaches and starts to assault you, then there's like that. But go ahead.
Right. Then, I mean, even in that scenario, if you can go run to your car and get a weapon, then that
you can leave. If you can run to your car,
if you can run to your car, you can leave. Now she'll say that she's boxed in, but even then, you can still run to your car. Your baby's in the car. Lock the doors and make sure that you're not being assaulted. But the fight was never between her and Romeka. It was between Romeka and Carlos.
So she's saying, but you can claim. I'm just throwing this out. You can claim that you were defending the person if you thought the person was in danger.
Imminent danger. But she was restrained. When I'm restrained, I'm no longer an imminent threat.
And that's where they're going. Real quick, Shika, I just want to say this. I think those two are trying to prove their love. Like, I'm going to defend you. I know I'm going to defend you. Well, you're beating her up for me, Carlos, but I'm going to do one solid for you. I'm going to go unalive her. I really think that's what they were doing at her expense. But that's just what I want to say.
That it's definitely a for my man situation. And now that she is arraigned with no bond and 7 weeks pregnant, I suspect that she will flip faster than a McDonald's cheeseburger. If there was any type of influence or pressure,
which she should, because Romeka's nobody to her, but that's his son's mama.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just saying.
Well, that's going to strain those boys' relationships. So now we're in a Ishmael and Israel type of situation.
Yeah, how are they going to get along as brothers?
Yeah, and so parents don't think about that when they do their dirty work and then don't do the work to heal the situation. So, I mean, Big Keys did a substantial amount of going over this. Tia Ewing, the reporter, also went through it too. I am saddened that it took Chicago, DAs and stuff to charge her with the crime, because it was like, what, you let her go? It's almost like, well, you go settle your affairs and get ready to fight this case, and so,
that was wrong. That was wrong. And him having the nerve to be on camera talking to reporters, talking about the truth will come out. The truth is already out. You helped someone. You held a woman while another person unalived her. You helped the mother of your child. I really,
at the very least, he restrained her while she went and retrieved.
And at the very least would be him. He just stood back and didn't say, "Girl, what are you doing? No, put that gun away." Oh, excuse me. Oops, the pew pew. We don't even have to say pew pew, but whatever. You two, get off our neck. Get your boot off our neck. So yeah.
So what's so crazy is that I actually signed up for Key's network because he was giving live updates almost daily, and he was doing it under threat. And he was doing it no matter what. He was like, I don't care. And then they said he was hiding. He was like, I'm 6'5" and 307 pounds. Where am I hiding? So I'm glad that he did not allow intimidation or anything to get to him. And he said something that was so hilariously funny to lighten up the mood. Thank God, because it's such a tragic moment. But he put up the Scooby-Doo You know how the end of Scooby-Doo where they unmask the ghosts and
meddling kids.
yeah, I would have gotten away for it too.
If it wasn't for you meddling kids, what did he put
If it
up?
wasn't for big keys and social media, you know. And the sad truth is that probably is a fact. If there wasn't light and it wasn't a big outcry from the community, these two would probably have gotten away with that. And it's happened more than once, several places. And now that this has come to light, we're coming to see like this is a problem. But this is the justice system sweeping Black women's lives under the rug.
Oh, 100%. We could segue now into, I want to talk that I tried to bring this up on a few panels. No one really seems interesting, but the next time we do our show, which is a show that we just debuted today, the next time we do Stand on It, I want to ask the question, hopefully, why is it that we see so many Black women unalived, women in general, but Black women unalived by their partners, and then nothing? It's like they either get a slap on the wrist, or if they didn't, if the perpetrator doesn't unalive himself, he gets like, oh, and then he gets 30 years, or he's gonna be getting life, but then he'll get parole in 40 years. You know what I mean? It's like, why? And that's rare. Why is it so often that so many, and they're always women like you with careers and with education, degrees, beautiful, ambitious. Why so many? Why, Shika?
It's because of, and I hate to say this, but there was an article called from the Brookings Institute called "Poverty is All About the Men," and so the mobility of our men is stagnant, right? So a lot of women find themselves being breadwinners of the house, which damages the male ego. And then there could potentially be a power struggle, and so in an effort to keep control. And I think Tammy Rivera, I was just watching that before we got on earlier. Tammy Rivera talked about the first father of her child and how he would do things to control her. And so when you feel out of control, you do things to try to control the situation, like hit a woman or talk down to her, emotionally abuse her. And infidelity is emotional abuse, and I'm not talking about poly,
No, I'm 100% with you. Cheating is emotional abuse.
Infidelity is emotional abuse. And
you can cheat if you do poly, despite what some, shout out to people who don't, whatever, but go ahead.
Yeah. And so
the lying, the
deceit, the betrayal, the humiliation, all that comes with that. And that's emotional abuse, especially when you say, I'm not going to do it again. And then you turn around and you just do it again. Once you feel like you're in a better place. Oh, okay, I think she got over it, so let me go ahead and do this again. If your intention and plan is to do it again, and you're saying, I'm sorry, and you're dragging somebody's emotion back into it, you are in fact committing emotional abuse. That is something that Romeka went through.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
She knew him for 10 years. 10 years.
Oh wow, they were together?
Huh?
Were they together for 10 years?
They were together for 10 years. When she was 19, and he's like 10 years older than her or something. So
10 years older? Oh
yeah.
No, baby.
Yeah, he was like
28. It's time for me to come back and haunt you for the rest of yours. No, I don't think so.
I think she accomplished that because her energy just went out there so hard that it moved people to where people was like, I am very invested in this case. I posted about it like weekly.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I could not stop thinking about it because it could have been me. I too once
could have been any of us
dealt with a local rapper. I too was put in between in some love triangle that I wasn't trying to be a part of. And it's just, and I've also been in relationships where men have pillow talked and talked about my whole everything to other women.
Everything, baby.
Where they knew where I worked, where they know what I did, how much I made, what car I was driving, but I didn't know anything. So I felt very vulnerable, you know.
Well, you are, and Sheikah, let me say this. He tells her business only trying to gain her to like feel sorry for him, not even being responsible, thinking this could be a crazy lady who goes and does something to her and my son.
Right.
They didn't even think about that. So
it's a very unfortunate accident, not accident, but tragedy. And I would advise everybody, and I'm sorry, I don't know how you feel about this, but Big Keys, he's in Chicago and was doing the daily up to date about this. And they said that he did it for clout and he did it for this. No, he was keeping us informed because there was a very much a campaign against Romeka going on by certain people who were releasing tapes of her and stuff like that, arguing with her baby daddy.
Oh, please.
Well, they were arguing with baby daddy. It was like, I'm going to hit you if you don't tell the truth, you know? And so I believe that definitely occurred, but there's a mugshot with her with a black eye and everything else, you know?
She had an order of protection against him. She had an order of protection against him. We need to talk about how these order protections are making things worse for women. They're making things worse for victims, not just women, but primarily women. And then victims in general. Men don't usually go get a restraining order. You'd be like, come over here now, you're gonna see. But you know, and it's sad that it's making these women get unalived quicker. So they're talking about that. That's a sidebar. I do want to get back to you saying the thing about Big Keys. If you are listening, Big Keys, come on over and talk to us. Of course, it's awesome that you're saying somebody. This Sonetta is not so like I don't want if it's something that's positive and helping for a bigger cause, of course let's shout him out. And I would love to have him come over and talk to our audience. He can link people to all the videos he's done, because somebody, you know, a lot of people, but somebody also, not somebody, most people have to speak about this. I was feeling like, what the hell am I not speaking about? And you know what? You want to shout somebody out, Twisted Crimes. Okay. I love that. Black Girl Lost or Black Girl Gone. Those are channels that focus. These people, even EWU. It's not always just about, it's about the whole world. They go and they scour the information, not YouTube. They do the research and they put the information out and they let us know. Do you know about Twisted Crimes? Because I was like, this isn't real. Something's wrong. All these Black women getting unalived.
Fatal Attraction on TV1.
Fatal Attraction, but listen, it's not just brothers, sisters, husbands, sons. It's about everybody getting unalived. We're not just when we said Black, when it was, they said, oh, that's George Soros. But basically the concept, Black Lives Matter, because mostly Blacks were getting unalived. It's not saying that whites, Asians, Latinos aren't getting unalived. So, but there are Black Latinos. So I just want to throw that out there. But the point is, women are being unalived. Like, it's crazy when you get. Please go.
There's actually a study called "When Men Murder Women," and Black women have their own section for the high amount of murders that they have compared to other women. And not only that, after the pandemic, you know, we were all home, and this is where red pill rhetoric and and Black manosphere spaces kind of blew up. We saw the uprise and uptick of Black women being murdered, and nobody cared. Everybody said that that's a whack stat, and so what, you know? But we see it more and more, and I think that this case has started to bring out so many other cases where it's just happening left and right and left. So
and I want to say this: the reasoning. This is where it's going to get heated. You and I might not be echo chamber anymore, but it's okay because we could do this. And some men might come for me. a lot of reasoning is the culture. If you tell a black woman, be quiet or watch what happens, stay with me. She will say, and I'm gonna say this too, and Latinas, no, not Mexicans, black communities of Latinas like Cubanos, Boricuas, Dominicanas, like they have more of a I don't know why, don't come for me, please. They have more of a mixture of African and so hear me out. Mexican women, not so much, but I know there's Negro African, I mean, Mexican, African Mexicans. I got to preface people clip me up. So what I'm saying is the black woman is the type to be like, when a guy says, keep talking, see what happens. We're the type to go, oh, really? You ain't gonna do SHIT. And then that makes, now I got that out the way. That's one thing because I've been looking into this of why. And then the insecure, not the black man, but there's a high level of men in general who are insecure. But then we talk about epigenetic, post-traumatic slave syndrome, epigenetic men trying to prove I is a man, ain't I a man. If you challenge him like that, it's like he's all I'm talking about the dysfunctional ones, the unstable ones. If you challenge him like that, he thinks in his mind, I have no choice besides to unalive her, or to do whatever with this knife or this pew or my fist until my it's like a challenge to their manhood, and they're already heated. And then I want to back that up by saying this. I saw a story because I vigilantly watch these stories. A black man in his 20s, mid-20s, was working. He never had any black friends. He had only had white friends. He had a white best friend who took him to a job, and he got a job, and then they kept on treating him racist. They kept on challenging him with, you know what he did? He brought a pew to work and he unalived them. Those aren't black women, but it's something where he feels like, oh, I have to do it now. And then imagine he's having sex with her. He feels like, oh, it's my woman, I'm the male, and she's going to tell me. So thank you for letting me go. I've been wondering, why are all these men, these black men, all killing these black women who are good to them? They take care of them. They love them. They respect them. They'll be posting them on their social media. They're beautiful women. They have money. They're educated. And then their husbands will unalive them. I think it's because when they're having their fights, he's like, it's heated. Be quiet, da-da-da. And he's like, you better be quiet or else you don't see. I'm a real man. That's what it translates to. And she's like, you ain't gonna do blah, 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 SHIT. Boom. So what do you think? That's something I just been working on.
I think that racism and sexism are two sides of the same coin. Just like we see Caucasian people sometimes deny that there is white privilege, right? And there's a holding on to it, right? Why? Because that's all some of them have. I can reinvent myself. I can do this. In the same way, sexism is a thing too. I'm a man and it's all I have and I'm holding on to it. So even when I'm in argument with my woman, I want to preserve that, and that's worth killing her for and me being enraged about. Now, here's the thing. An evolved man who understands that his woman is not his child knows that he can request quietness and not get it. Okay. This obedient factor, if not practiced both ways, does not happen because a leader has to example what they want from others, right? So if you're not doing that and then requesting something, yeah, the woman's response is going to be like, you ain't about to do nothing, you know? That still does not warrant him to put his hands on anybody. It still does not warrant the type of violence that we're seeing. And then also keep in mind, most of the time when women are being unalived, it is when they are leaving, when they are done arguing, when they are like deuces.
That's the most dangerous time, when they're doing those
and when they're pregnant and with postpartum. So I hate when men bring up these abortion things. You fund them, you take them there to go get these abortions, and then they're being unalived most of the time a year postpartum. So please don't give me that.
And a lot of it is because of the emotional side that people say, oh, come on, get over it. Postpartum crises. I don't just like to say depression. You're dealing with everything, recalibrating literally in your body. And your mind is the first and foremost. We're talking about the actual neurotransmitters. And then people say, oh, get over it. But a lot of women are not safe. They're not safe to be around children when they're in this state of mind. So yes, 100%. I could see why. I'm trying to be balanced, because in some, not even just these fragile men who are unaliving their wives, men are like, that was the worst time of my life when you had my son or my daughter. I thought it was going to be great, because you have just turned into this. Who are you? You know, what more do you want from me? Okay, so I want to thank you so much, Shika, Atiba, Broke in Berlin, Peace. Thank you so much for joining the panel. What say ye?
You opened the jar, so let's have the conversation. We have to remember that this language is not our language. This religion is not our religion. And you have to sometimes speak to men and ask, like, what would Black masculinity look like or be without the influence of white supremacy? What do you honestly, like, what do you think are true, like I see you get on panels, and I see sometimes when you get in these conversations and when you try to bring up your points, and I don't know if some of the men are unknowingly doing this or not, but they always kind of bring back their morality to Christianity. And it's like, we have to stop upholding this onto each other when it's not for us, not built for us, and was used to oppress us. I'm not coming for Christianity or anything. I'm coming for, when you're trying to have these conversations with men about, you know, the role of the man, or how they should be checking women, or when we're in relationships and well, I'm the man, so you should be doing it. Who taught you that? And we have to break this down, because we see that this dynamic is not working. This dynamic that we're trying to put each other in is not leading to us growing old together. It is not leading to us creating life and growing old together to build that life together in union. So we have to sit back and dissect it, instead of us beating each other over the head, like, why aren't you doing this right? And the women are, why aren't you all doing this right? We're not stepping back and seeing the bigger picture, that this system of white supremacy, and especially with capitalism, as you all in America, is not built for you all to build each other in union, because that doesn't work well in capitalism. Versus here in Germany, the government does everything to try to keep unions together, because they need that to work in the system of socialism. We have to take a step back and look at how other cultures in other countries try to uphold relationships, and see if there's things that we can do and take and deviate from them. Just my opinion.
Thank you for adding that. You're in Berlin? I lived in Berlin before. I used to speak German fluently.
I tell people, sorry, go ahead. Yes, I've been here for 10 years.
Oh, wow. Ich verstehe Deutsch.
No, I've learned the white man's language once. I refuse to learn it twice. I think if I pass away and have two white man languages and don't know my original tongue, like, my elders will be like, you can't come in this club. You know, so I think it's better just to know one.
Okay, fair enough. Shika, would you like to respond to anything that Broken Berlin said?
No, I agree. I think that we don't know what we would be if we were never enslaved, and those things. And I believe that it happened more than once over history span, I do think that that does not mean that we can not evolve and become better and do better and say, hey, because our women are doing well, we only have a $4,000 pay gap in our pay wage from Black women and Black men. So it's not like Black men are out earning us to a substantial amount to where, God, if we don't have a Black man, we're, versus a white woman and a white man, it's so much apart. But if we work together, then we can do this. But working together, and I think we have a false sense of leadership and what that means. Most of our men here thinks leadership is shotgun management. Like, I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you because they're taking their relationships with their mothers. And this is the Oedipus complex talked about in John Singleton's Baby Boy, which is one of my favorite movies, along with The Color Purple. It's like the same story, but different times. And one is about Black men.
I've never seen Baby Boy.
Oh, you got to watch it. It's really good. And the guy, the mother's boyfriend, is like, you have an Oedipus complex. Because he's literally treating his women like he treats his mother. He's trying to get away with something all the time. He's trying to, I gotta, this is you thinking that your woman is your mother, but it's not. You wouldn't even go live with your, you wouldn't even live with your girlfriend because you still wanted to be under your mother because her expectations of you is very different than your wife or potential partner. And so I think our young men struggle with this. They think that, okay, now I'm going to get a woman and I'm going to act like my mom acted to me, but that was a parent-child relationship versus a partnership. Okay. And I know I'm 44 years in age. There's no, I don't need a leader. I need a partner, right? A respectful partner. And so what does that look like? I mean, you can lead, but I think leadership depends on the strengths of the individuals in the relationship. If I'm better at finances, I should be doing finances. If you're better at education, you should be doing education. This is how any successful organization works all together. And leadership is a science. You have to negotiate. First of all, you have to have a vision, okay? And a lot of times women get with men who have no vision of what they want their family to be like and what they want their home life to be. Then you have
they don't have a vision, they just have a dream.
Yeah. And the difference is the accurate steps that you can take to actually accomplish that vision, right? If you have those steps, now you have a plan behind the dream, and now it's a vision, right? You have to be able to.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you think that our women can be seduced with the vision, or can they be seduced with the dream? Because we're taught from men, we were taught from our uncles, like how you get women, and we're not taught how to grow old with women. We're only taught how to get women and kind of how to maintain it a little bit. We've never been taught from our elders and the older men how to grow and prosper with women. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So we're taught to sell dreams. We're not taught to organize and actually start putting things into place and then proposing that to a woman because you're supposed to be our muses. We learned to lie to our mothers, the woman that we first loved to love in life. We learned at an early age we have to lie to her because she can't handle us telling her the truth. She's emotional, blah, 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 whatever reason. And we end up, like you said, as adults, transferring that to, well, I'm trying to be, well, I love my mother this way, so maybe I need to love you this way. And because you don't know how to operate as a muse, you've been programmed to operate as a mommy manager in relationships. You become my pseudo mother because you are not my muse. You haven't learned how to be a muse. So you don't lie to your muse because there's no reason to lie to muse. It's like lying to your bartender. It's like, I'm not judging you. I'm not trying to build you. I'm not trying to make you who you are. And you telling me the truth, I'm only going to give you my feminine expertise and, kind of like Erykah Badu type shit. And then whatever, if it doesn't work, hey, I hold you, we laugh about it. If it does work, I celebrate you. But I never chastise you.
Give her your feminine expertise?
Say it again.
Are you saying men are saying, let me give her my feminine expertise?
No. I said a muse. A muse is someone who gives the man her feminine.
Right, I get it, and that makes okay. That could be definitely be a conversation for certain men, but I'm gonna say in general, what I've seen is most men. That's atypical to me. Most men that are black, they're not. It's not that they couldn't tell their mom the truth. It's because their mom was either neglected them when they were in the early developmental stage, from like 0 to 5, and then around adolescence, early adolescence before puberty, right? And when I say that, some people straight go to like, oh, you mean moms who are in drugs? And no, I mean like she just didn't. It's a cult, but hear me out. I always take it back to often take it back to epigenetic post-traumatic slave syndrome, because she couldn't show her children that kind of extra how do you say, cushioning and nurturing, because of a lot of factors,
because of society.
So with that said, the mom is tough on her son, especially usually when there isn't a dad there to be tough and do all that, and she can actually be the one like, mama, kiss it better. So it's not that he can't tell her to make her what I'm saying is to buffer for her feelings. It's because he's afraid of saying it to her, because she might, in his eyes, be rough. So when he gets to be a man or in relationships, not just love relationships, all relationships, he's always being kind of like the victim, like, oh, she hurt me. Oh, don't do that to me. I'm gonna stand up now. I'm the man now. I'm gonna get you, mama.
I'm never gonna let anyone ever disrespect. Like, every young boy had this in their head from their mother after they got to a certain age. I'm never gonna let anyone make me submit like that again, where I have to take my clothes off and get beat on the ass with a belt or whatever happened. Like now that and so when they get that from the woman that they're with, it triggers them. I remind women this, like, look, when you're having these arguments and you're operating like his mother now. You have to not get to that, because when you start to poke him and prod him and possibly even you hit him, you think, well, it's not that you're strong, but you hit him, and that's triggering his childhood, where it's like, I made the promise I'll never do that or be in this situation again. And then he ends up hitting you back, and he's like, oh my God, what did I do? It's because you triggered that child promise that he made to himself to never, ever be in that situation again.
Wow. Yeah. And he might click inside in a psychosis, like in a psychic break.
Yes.
He might regress and think, I'm doing this to mama when she was beating me for no reason. So, I mean, but that doesn't make it right.
But we're just connecting the dots, because he's not a monster.
We're
it's
well,
not
they do become monsters sometimes,
right? We're just making, but the narrative will be that he's a monster.
Yeah.
Well,
and he's a human.
Kind of like an anime story. You always see the worst villain. You see his backstory and go, "Oh my God, he's such a nice guy." But I get what you're saying. We got to stop him from becoming the monster. But hear me out. This is the conundrum, the confusion I don't understand. What he does, jumps on the internet, gets a microphone and says, it's all women's fault. We're all fine, guys. We're perfect. All right, mic drop.
No accountability. No accountability. It is what is that called? Deflection. I'm going to call them not accountable.
Projection.
Yeah, projection. Thank you, projection.
1 second. Keep it going.
Yeah, I'm going to call them like they have a lack of accountability, because it's really me. Because here's the thing, and here's the problem that I've seen with this argument. If women are the reflection of the men of their community, and you're constantly whining about they have no accountability, they have no this, they have no that, then who lacks it first? If you consider yourself a man and a leader in that way,
Well, first we have to remember, Neely Fuller says this: we're not men in the system of white supremacy. We're not. And when the way Neely Fuller breaks it down, it's so logical. Rest in peace, Neely Fuller. And as men, especially in the Black community, we have this bravado that makes, even in the 60s, like, I am a man. They had the protesting trend. I am a man, because in the system of white supremacy, we are not men. That the whole Black Lives Matter, because from the mindset of a white supremacist, when you ask them, well, no, it doesn't. Like that, so that's why they're saying Black Lives Matter, and then they're on. No, it doesn't, because in reality, white lives are more valuable than Black lives. And now we don't want to admit that. We don't want to come face to face with that, and we want to like bullgate. But no, in the system of white supremacy, that's just absolutely logical. So we had to say, no, Black Lives Matter. And now on that, there's nothing wrong with that. But we still have to remember that
the resistance though shows our daily lives, right? You know,
yes.
If you're resisting that, if you say no, you got to say this, you got to do this, and you're so, and that was the point of the phrase, to ignite, you know, outrage,
the conversation, ignite, yes,
you know, that thought, like, why does it bother me so much that this phrase is out there, or it's a movement, and it bothers you because we absolutely thought the opposite. And so, but how do we overcome, I guess, is the thing, because are we going to continually go to the Adam syndrome of blaming Eve, blaming the woman for everything, or where does the accountability start with, no, I don't care, I'm going to take care of my child, I'm going to find out ways to be involved in my child's life, even if this woman is giving me hell? Because actually in the court system, the stats show that only 5% of males ever go to family court to fight for custody. 5. Yep.
Is that for Black men or men in general?
Black men too.
No, I'm just okay. You said,
so what percentage of the 5% are Black males? I have to find that out for you. But 95% of people agree on that the mother should have custody.
Oh, okay. That concept makes sense, because most lawyers will advise men that it's a losing battle to try to even get 50-50 custody, versus here in the EU system, 50-50 custody is the barometer where it starts. Let's say me and you were married and we had a divorce, and we would go to court and we'd have the conversation and start at 50-50 and be like, okay, well, who has what job? And I'll say, oh, I'll have this job, and I kind of am away more. And then we have a mediator, and it's not so much about a power struggle. It's about trying to figure out who logically has the most time to actually impart and raise the children face to face. Not like, oh, here's a babysitter. No, who has who's the person who can, and it's different here, because in socialism,
well, here's what our courts do.
I know what the courts do.
Wait, hold on. No, okay. Our courts say who is the primary caregiver of the child while you two have a relationship. And if it's the woman doing all the heavy lifting, they're going to keep her as the primary caregiver of the child. Now, we're not going to go 50-50.
But that doesn't work if the man was in the house and raising the children, which has happened many times, and then a breakup happens. Yeah, and then, because you were there and the woman was working, well, the children will stay with the man. It doesn't work that way. But that would work like that over here in the EU system, if that were the case. If the man were a stay-at-home dad and the woman was working, and then a breakup happened because he spent the majority of time with the children, rearing the children, then in the EU system, they will be like, well, the kids he should get primary custody unless breastfeeding was involved. Other than that, they would be like, oh, well, he spent the most of the time. The kids are 3 and 5. The kids should probably spend majority of the time with the father, because he was the one they have the conversation. It's not an argument. It's a logical.
That's what American courts do too.
But American courts is completely different. It's not the family court system is beyond.
I have the stats though, and so let me.
It's not about stats. It's about actual stories that people have actually experienced. Okay,
actual stories.
If you want to screen share? Just let me know.
I'll screen share. I'll screen share the stats. But you said it's okay for if a father is a stay-at-home dad, and then they say, okay, well, he's the primary caregiver, so he should spend the time. That's the same way it works over here. If I'm the primary caregiver, even if you live with me, you're doing less parenting. We actually have numbers, mothers versus fathers, on how many hours a week that they spend parenting. And it's far less than the women do. And so if you are the primary caregiver, and I don't care what sex you are, right? You could be a male or a woman. But if you are the primary caregiver and we break up, now we're not going, what most men will try to do is go 50-50 and say, hey, I shouldn't have to pay child support because I'm going 50-50 now. If we were in the relationship and I'm doing the heavy lifting and I'm the primary caregiver after the breakup, that should continue. And then we, talk about whatever parameters that need to happen. And that's what they do, because they have found when you remove the primary caregiver, whether male or female, it is detrimental to the child.
So do you think that men should maybe start looking to be, instead of taking the position that, society says like, oh, when you leave the relationship, you're a protector and a provider. Do you think that men should start maybe looking to see about just being the caregivers? Because that's what's destroying men the most, is after the breakup happens, is their lack of ability to have the children in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And,
they
on
need
a
to
global,
do that in the relationship. If they're in the relationship,
I'm just trying to find the solution. If majority of men are complaining about their lack of ability of fatherhood after the breakup, because they did this provider role and the mother was the nurturer, and when the breakup happens, the kids go with the mother, would the solution be that the men start being the nurturer role in the relationships and stop trying to be the de facto leaders and providers?
So most Black women are not staying at home taking care of children.
I'm talking about women in general. And I'm talking. This is not a Black. I'm talking about. Okay.
But I can only speak from my lens, right?
Okay.
Black women are not staying home taking care of children and being provided for by their partners. That is not happening. Okay. Most of the time it's either the government.
You're saying there's not any stay-at-home Black mothers where the men are providing for them?
You think the majority of Black mothers are staying at home?
I didn't say majority, but I know that I know it happens. It's not a complete anomaly. It's not that much of a minority.
Okay. So there's a study that actually proves that Black women are the breadwinners of their home, married and single. Okay. And so therefore, this notion that we're being taken care of by these men, and this is why they're not parenting, is not a fact here.
I didn't.
Okay?
No one. I've never said that.
What I am saying is that if Black men or men in general want to have a 50-50 thing after the relationship, they need to have a 50-50 thing in the relationship. So while they're in the relationship, they need to be doing as much as the bathing, the cooking, the taking care of them on the weekends. All that stuff needs to go into that. And I will post the study.
Okay, so the man pulls away from his job to do that, and you think
that? So no, I'm not talking about.
He has to. He has to pull away from his job to do all of that.
I have to walk away from my job to do all that too.
Okay, so again, I'm just trying to get to the solution. So because somebody has to pull back from the job. If you're saying, okay, wait, I'll stop.
You equally parent before the breakup. I have a job too. So when I'm taking care of a child, I have to walk away from a job too. You have to walk away from
I'm just trying to find the solution. And so you're saying that both.
Let's bring Zion in and let's see if he would.
Did you not hear the solution?
Yes.
No, you didn't provide a solution.
Equally parent before you break up with somebody. When you have a child, you are equally responsible for diaper changes. You are equally responsible for feedings. If you're not breastfeeding, you are equally responsible for waking up that child, getting that child to daycare. You are equally responsible for every facet of that child's life.
And wait. With that said, though, I'm going to bring Zion on. With that said, though, to not broken in Berlin, I want to say Berlin, but I want to say Berlin because not broken Berlin, not Zion Warlord, but there are brothers that I've sat on panels with, and I hope you join these panels. The ladies, shout out to Ladies First, Fatty. They say, well, the father, he can be it's easy to be I went all the way around just to say this. It's easy to be a parent, a single parent. I can change diapers. I can do this and that. And I was sitting there on that panel this past Sunday thinking, then why don't guess what? Plot twist. I think that there's a role for me in my life. I don't want my husband trying to change our child's diaper. I prefer him to go check and see if the dinner's burning or do whatever. So I digress. But they are saying now in the manosphere streets, and I'm going to go to Zion, they're saying, we could have done, these women complaining about seeing single moms, and I get my son, it's so easy. And this is great for you, Zion, because you are experiencing that in your life, right? Something similar. Go ahead, take the mic.
I'm a father's rights advocate. I'm a creator.
Why are they saying?
I'm a creator of the fraternity of fathers' legal rights. I'm a huge advocate. This is what I do, actually. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I jumped in, because once I heard people talking about primary care doctrine, I don't think anybody's ever brought up. Did anybody say something about the tender years doctrine?
No, let's hear from you.
Nobody knows what the tender years doctrine is?
No, please.
Okay. So in America, one of the things that has colored how men perceive custody disputes, high conflict custody disputes, was something called the tender years doctrine. The tender years doctrine ended in around like 95, 85, 86, because it was considered unconstitutional. And what it was that any child that was with, you know what I'm saying, that was in the middle of a divorce or a breakup, the children would automatically go to the mother. Even if the child was around the age, don't shake your head. It's a fact. I studied it. It's in the law books. It is called the tender years doctrine. You can shake your head all you want. It's an actual thing.
That's a lie, because women can even take.
I'm talking. Y'all was talking.
Well, you addressed me.
I'm not addressing you. I'm addressing something. I'm just saying, shaking your head. You're shaking your head about something that is actually a legal standard that was presented. Excuse me, I'm not done.
Zion, and I'm asking you to keep order. Can you present it while you go? You can still have the mic. And
okay. Yeah. I'm not here to argue. It's a fact. It was a reality. It was ended in 1985, 1986, because it was considered unconstitutional. It violated the rights of men, assuming that children were supposed to be with the mother, irregardless of what somebody considers primary bonds, like the brother was just talking about. If the male is in the house and he's the one who was changing the diapers and feeding the baby and doing all of those things, regardless of if he has a job or not, right? He is giving the primary care. That means he is building what is called primary bonds. Emotional bonds goes to the parent who is spending the most time. And so that doctrine ended and went to the primary care doctrine. You remember that movie called Kramer versus Kramer?
Yes.
Remember that? That's an actual legal case law.
Real case.
That's an actual historic case law that they turned into a movie that was built off of the tender years doctrine when it ended. Okay? So I can show you the history of that. However, so now you have a lot of dads who are engaged in their children's lives. Certain states, like below the Bible Belt, still maintained after the federal, after the Supreme Courts decided that this was a unfair doctrine towards, a protected class, men, right, or fathers, that this doctrine was, whatever, and went to the primary care. Now, certain states still maintained that men would be the providers. Why? Because it kept men in the workforce. One of the things that developed around that time was also, what do you call it? I'm not on it, so I don't have to worry about it, but my brain is it's a little late. So you get your child support and stuff, right? And a lot of men, because men mostly were providers, men were the ones who were placed on child support. Very simple. So so in certain states, Bible Belt states, tender years still goes on. And there's a lot of men who are deprived of their children, even though they're still the ones who have built primary bonds with the children. And so this is one of the issues that's happening now. And what I do is I try to help a lot of people defend themselves in court. Now, I help sisters too. 50-50 custody is the best and most beneficial for the children. Children need both parents equally. You know what I'm saying? However, statistics show that in a single parent household, I'm going to say it.
False. Okay, keep going.
You about to cut me up before I even say it.
I'm the judge. I'm the judge of the court. I can cut you off. And
you about to cut me up before I even say it. I didn't even say it yet.
No, you can keep going, but that's
I didn't say it yet.
That's false equivalent.
You already. I see in the spikes in the arms.
There's too much propaganda. Men are not. You're comparing apples to oranges when you.
I didn't even say anything yet.
But that's the same thing. That's
the statistics. Did I even name the statistics? I didn't even name the statistics that I'm talking about.
Statistics, but statistics have to be backed with logic.
It is backed. My son is an A student. I won primary custody defending. I studied the law. I went and got me a paralegal degree after the fact. I won 13 legal actions. You know what I'm saying? And I help people. I help people win all the time, and I'm good at it because I know how to research and I know the law. You know what I'm saying? So and I help sisters too. You know what I'm saying?
You're not typical, Zion. But you're great, and actually you're phenomenal. No, honest, no, I'm not. No, I'm not being nice. I'm not being nice. I'm sorry. You're not going to like this.
I appreciate it.
Like this, Zion. You're not going to like this. You're not typical, meaning because the typical man, especially black man, is not even doing a fraction of that. What he's doing, and I'm not talking about the Pookies and Ray Rays. What he's doing is he's moving on out of the house. I mean, saying, "Oh yeah, I still love my children," but parenting is optional. Oh, do you really need me? Yeah. You get it? Did you?
No, that's a fact. No, that's a fact. I cuss out dudes.
And there are women who do that.
I cuss out dudes all the time because they come seeking my help, but they're not doing half the work.
They're not. So listen.
So I'm not going to argue with you on that.
And you know what? That's what I was going to say. Whoever
I would not ever argue with you on it. A lot of dudes, they like, oh, I should have the kid, but you ain't even doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Thank you. So let me say this: not citing the woman that you have a child with. I'm sure she's a beautiful mother, but there are women who, in your situation, they are like reminding people. The first thing people say is, "You're acting like these single dads," because that's how prevalent it is. With the majority, and I know Sheikah is ready to Sheikah, this is her lane, so she's ready to come out the gate. But yes,
I got the receipts.
I mean, when they're just leaving and they're out having their vacations, planning their lives.
I'm that guy.
Go to Europe next week. Yeah. They don't even call her and go, "Hey, are you still? Do you need? Should I take him here? You want to bring her there?" No, they're like everything's their schedule set, and then when she calls, he's like, "Oh, hold on, let me rearrange my schedule that I prioritize, not my child." She could go ahead.
So I just shared a screen.
You're muted.
I just came off. Can you hear me?
My bad.
Yes. Sure.
Okay, so I just shared a screen. Women consistently spend significantly more time parenting and on household tasks than men. Though the gap has narrowed, recent data shows mothers averaging around 14 to 18 hours per week on children versus 8 to 10 for fathers. And mothers often spend twice as much time on childcare and homework combined, reflecting persistent gender disparities in unpaid labor. Okay. So that's your AI overview. That is every source that you can get. So here's the thing.
No, it's not.
This is the thing. Like I said, the primary caregiver is not going to be removed because you break up. That's not a thing. It should never be a thing. If I'm used to my mom taking care of me, that's who I freaking want when I'm sick. I mean, if I'm used to my dad taking care of me, that's who I'm going to want. I know a girl who was raised by her father, God rest his soul. So to sit up here and say, oh, well, it should go that way for men, but not women. And so for your little Tinder thing, that only occurred if the financial situation prevailed. It only occurred if you can prove the father unfit. It only occurred if you can prove that he wasn't hardly involved with the child. Now, of course, we know financially men were doing much better than women. So they would actually leave the child with the father. Most women could not take their children. That's why when you watch the Aretha Franklin story, where was Aretha? Where her father? She could not take that child from the house. My grandmother could not take her child from the father.
That is 100% true. 100%
They
true.
could not take these children away from them. You had to prove certain things.
But Shika, you said up to the 60s. No, that went into the I'd say 79, early 80s. So go ahead.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it depended on those issues, on whether it was enforced or not. So it was there. And it was probably enforced, but based on the financial situation, if she was an equally financially fit woman, then she would be considered for that. But we're not going to act like, oh, it's always been a court thing. No, not at all. And it's still not a court thing. You can still go to court. And if you can prove that you are a primary caregiver and you are financially taking care of this child, yes, they will give you sole custody. I have sole custody over my daughter. So, and women, please go to court and get that custody situation done, because the father will have, if you have established paternity, will have just as much rights as you do. They could go to the school, take your child out, and take them wherever they want, and nothing, you can do nothing. You can't say it's kidnapping. You can't say it's anything. So please get your paperwork in order.
Okay, so
can we not maybe figure out an effective way of effectively co-parenting without involving the government? Or is that too much, you think, is that too much to try to figure out between Black man, Black woman, American man, American woman? Do you think us as a community can figure out how to effectively co-parent without involving the government?
Absolutely not at this time, because we have something of a devaluing of the Black woman in this community, and therefore, where's the governance? Who's going to govern it? Who's going to say
we got to go to court? Yeah, no, I agree with homegirl. We got to go to court, bro. We going to court.
I find it disheartening because if
all day, no, I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way.
Wait, just give me a second. I haven't said much in a while. Just I promise I'm not long-winded.
And let's let him talk.
She right. We got to go to court.
Cool. Okay, Zion.
We make these children as adults. We make these children out of love and lust and whatever you want to call it. And then the breakup happens, and we can't figure out how to raise what we brought to this planet from our elders, how we can raise it without involving the oppressor, the overall oppressor. I think we have to figure out a way where if we have had a breakup, logically speaking, my tribe, my side of the family, and your tribe and your side of the family, we figure out, like, you know how they do family, and we have the conversation. I think we have so many problems because, like Neely Fleur said, all problems are solved through the process of questions and answers. But we're so afraid to try to communicate and figure some of our shit out because we've been programmed to be so emotional and not trusting of each other. We had beers and family. We had meetings together before the baby came. We sat down and had the baby shower. So when the breakup happens, the same way that we celebrated this child coming, we need to be able to have as a family come together and figure out how to raise this child where the mother is getting enough time and enough money, whatever she needs, and the father and this side of the family is also getting the time with the kids. Because many times when the breakup happens, it's not just the father that's child alienated, it's the father and his entire side of the family. That's a reality. So again, I just think that we have to figure out as a community, if we truly care about the mental health of Black men as much as we care about the mental health of Black women, then this is a conversation that's worth having. Because this is what destroys most Black men in general. I've seen this, is that the relationship they don't have with their kids after the breakup and how it suffers puts that Black man in a very dark place as he grows older in life, as he's getting 60 and 70 and 80. Yes. So if we care about the mental health of Black men, then we need to have this conversation.
I
Well,
absolutely agree
being
with
a
that.
single mother doesn't have mental implications.
I said,
Nobody's
I
saying
literally
that
said
the
both. I
women
said
don't.
black man and black woman. When I said
well,
that,
I need
did I
to
He's
not?
only,
black men, but
he's
I said
talking
black
from,
man and
he's
black
only
woman.
talking from his own experience, and he's a male, so he
well,
can't.
no, yeah.
Come on, like let him be able to.
No, I'm not going to let anybody be male or on here because it's imbalanced. No, I'm just kidding. See, y'all thought I was. Well, you can be male.
My eyes was about to pop out my head, girl.
I want to address what he was saying about that one part. I got to. Everything was smooth until we hit a bump in the road when he said the thing about we don't care about male mental illness more than we care about.
We don't.
No. Wait, hold on. Let me say this. There is a very strong issue in as a whole. We don't care about anybody's mental illness, but we're starting to get more informed. I mean, as a society. I digress. However, there's absolutely dismissal. There's so much dismissal about postpartum crisis, mental crisis. So
yes.
Again, when I'm not fighting. There is a male crisis. There's a boy crisis. Males have too much on their plate. The problem is, I really need you to listen to this part. They will not admit it. I don't know if it's a man thing. They don't. Everything. They're right. They take no accountability anymore. And I'm not the type of woman to be like, you guys did this and that. Now you're blaming Black women because for the reason why you leave your children and you're not present.
No, it's not women's fault. It's not.
Yes,
it's not
so that's what I wanted
all
to
women's
say.
fault. I'll say it like that. It's not all women's fault.
I'm going to let Zion go, but I know because he's been trying to respond to Sheikah and the gentleman up in the corner, broken Berlin. But Zion, and then Sheikah's going to come in because I love it, but we got to stop blaming. We got to.
I'm not blaming nobody.
We're not blaming.
I'm gonna take.
It's not blaming. It's analyzing it.
I'm gonna take responsibility on the man's side, right? So one of the issues is, and I'm not making excuses for men, right? One of the things is, culturally speaking, because that 10 years doctrine was existing for a long time, and so the presumption culturally was that children were supposed to go with the moms and dads were supposed to be providers. That was the cultural perspective entirely. And so when a relationship broke up, the presumption, and sis, I'm sorry, an overview, AI overview is not conducive. It's not equal to case law. Okay, precedent. I study precedent, not AI overviews. I've been doing this since 2015, right? So 10 years of study in this field. No disrespect. AI overview can give you false.
AI includes case law, but go ahead.
All right, but it's not giving you the direct case law. So you said tender something, and I'm saying tender years doctrine, and you were shaking your head like it didn't exist. It existed. However, so that because of that presumption, and that was actually heralded by many of the conservative parties back in those days, because women were seeking to become more independent with, women's suffrage was going on around that time period, and women's suffrage. And so many conservative men were fighting to keep women in the home. And one of the ways was to give incentive was to always afford the women the children and thus the financial support, even if the relationship dissolved. There's a whole political thing behind this that AI is not covering. That I can show you in actual legal journals. Okay, I know how to do the whole shepherdizing and all of that stuff as a paralegal, right? So I've studied this history. Okay, so anyway, so my brother, though, we have to go to court. Why? You're talking about the mental health of men. The mental health of men and the mother, the father and the mother, is only best benefited during a separation or dissolution of the relationship, using legal terminology, right? The prima facie custody goes that there is, like the sister said, that the dad can go to the school or the mom can go to the school. Even if they break up, she's over here encouraging women to defend themselves when the relationships break up, to stop the father from being able to go and pick up the child from the school. I hear what she said. I disagree with it. You know what I'm saying? But the only way to resolve that matter, so that there is that, see, that's what causes the conflict. The fight becomes a tug of war, and the only one in between it is
That's
the
not what I'm
children. So watch this. So what we must do as men is go to court. However, because culturally in the last 40, 50 years, the tender years doctrine was so prevalent, most men are told you're going to lose. Same thing happened to me 2 times. I have a 29-year-old daughter. Beautiful. She's great. She loves me to death. You know what I'm saying? She understood later on what happened. I didn't understand what was going on because I was 21 when I got married. I was still a baby trying to walk when I wasn't even finished crawling, right? So here I am trying to be a man and I'm still a boy and got caught up, right? God, I thank God that my daughter forgives me for not knowing better. However, when my son was born, I figured it out and I wasn't going to let it happen again, right? So I studied and I won, right? And I fought the case, not just for my son, but for my daughter, right? All in one, I had to bang out. Because you ain't going to do this to me 2 times. Women are told that the baby's supposed to go to them. You know what I'm saying? And so, and when there's a dissolution of a relationship, women will support women and tell them all that they know about how to do this and how to do that and how to increase the child support and how the dad going, you know what I'm saying, file for order protection and this, that, and the other, so that he can't pick up the baby from the school before there is a court ruling. All of that is, but when men go and they're like, oh my God, I haven't seen my baby in 3 weeks and I'm missing my child. Oh, what do the men say to the men? What do the men say?
I don't know.
Man, you better get ready to pay child support, man. You better go to work and make some money. Some money.
Zion,
Because we're already geared to think that we are only meant to be providers, and that is a problem. And men, we have to stop just thinking, yes, we're supposed to be providers, but at the same time, we're supposed to be nurturers too. We have an important role in our children's lives, and what you're not going to do is take my baby from me and tell me I can't come to the school and pick up my child. You know why? Because you don't want to see me in court. When I get to court,
yeah,
you're gonna eat your face.
And I'll tell you this, I don't
get
no
eat your face.
So I don't
you're
care
gonna eat your face just like my baby mama did. And that's why she's still in arrears right now, and I still ain't enforced the child support on her.
You're traumatized.
Okay,
I'm not traumatized. I'm a winner, baby.
Zion,
You just mad nigga to do it.
Zion, you went for like
I don't get child support, by the way.
Let's let her talk. Go ahead.
I don't get child support.
I follow the code of Neely Fuller. Rest in peace, Neely Fuller. I'm gonna go ahead and bow out. I really do hope that one day we can have this conversation. And Miss, I really appreciate a lot of your points that you said, because what you're saying is not wrong. Nobody's wrong on this panel. We're just failing to connect the dots. Thank you all for your time. And again, stay absolutely amazing and keep doing all the things that you guys are doing.
Dankeschön. Dankeschön.
I don't speak this shit. I keep telling you. All right? Dunkin' nothing. Cheers.
Dankeschön means thank you. Cheers. Peace.
Cheers.
Dankeschön in German means thank you very much. Go ahead, Chica. Zion, please don't unmic. She did not unmic. So I'm gonna let Chica go.
I'm totally away from the computer. Go ahead, sister.
All right.
So, one, I'm telling women what to do because women often fail to go ahead and establish custody. 2, I don't receive child support. So the reason why I did what I did, because there were concerns and safety concerns for my child that I wanted to make sure were in place, and more women need to do it. Most women, the average child support payment per child in America is only $490. Okay, which is nothing. That doesn't even cover daycare. And if you're not on assistance, you're paying for everything else. Daycare and medical is $1,000 a month alone. So, you know, a lot of times men tend to listen to women who do get assistance, who do get it. If you're not getting any of that and you're footing the bill on your own, you're doing that. But you need to have your paperwork in order as well. That was my advice to women. And this tender year doctrine, there was a long time where women could not take their kids. If they wanted to leave, they could leave, but they could not take those kids with them. The woman getting the kids is a new thing. And like Nepal said, it was the 80s to where
It
you do
was.
that.
No, it is.
Other than the man leaving the family altogether.
That's true.
Okay, which nobody forced him to leave. He left on his own. He walked out on his family on his own. The man in the house doctrine was done by 1958. Black people couldn't even get assistance until I want to say the 60s. So we're just making
mid
up
to
shit.
late.
Yeah. So we're just making up stuff to demonize women because we're traumatized, you know. And
I'm not demonizing sisters.
Yeah, you did. But and so it needs to stop. Whoever is the primary caregiver should just be the primary caregiver. And I know women who pay child support. I know women who are not the primary caregiver of their children because they had a big career, their husband was supporting it, and they stayed home and took care of the children. So we're not going to act like it's gender specific because it's not. It's if you're going to get up off your ass and fight for your children, and 95% of men agree. And I don't care if it's from a spirit of apathy or not. You agree. That means that you don't care enough to say, not my babies, I need them. 95% of you are agreeing on these custody agreements.
Yeah, and I want to
stop blaming us and blame you.
Can I add this too? It's like, wait, Zion. It's not that no one's saying you're not doing these things, but you're not a case that's typical. I want to say this right here. I want to bring up the fact that all this. It's really mostly the Black community where they shame the woman. It's called Department of Economic Security. And why? It's not like Black women thought of this amazing way to like, oh, I'm gonna have babies to get money.
No, right.
It's the Department of Economic Security, and part of that security is family assistance.
Right.
The key word being family. She's getting the assistance that you're shaming her for because she needs assistance with her family. And I'm gonna, this is just off the top of my head, I'm gonna say 50-50. No, I'll say 10% of that might be father, mother, household. And I'm highballing. So I'm going to say 90% of that is a single parent. Most of them are single mothers. Stay with me. If they're mostly single mothers, why is this? Where's the shame? It's the same thing where I hear them say, she should have chose better. She shouldn't have had that baby. Like men don't have any responsibility in women getting welfare for their families. Oh, she should go get a job. Well, now they do have to have a job. They're still broke because they don't have your assistance. They don't. Now, I'm talking about most of these men having these babies. And it's not Pookies and Ray Rays. It's men sitting on these internets all day, giving her, like Shika said, $200 a month, you said, or $5? I forgot. Child support. What is it? There was a number she threw out. It sounded small, very low.
$490.
So $500 a month from the dad. And he just, again, then he can spend that $3,000 on this trip. Got to get his new outfit. That's another $1,000. You get what I'm saying? It's like, well, I gave her my child support. And then he gets put up on guys' shoulders. And they say, yay, oh my God, he's a hero. He paid for his child's education. Yay.
Yeah, that's trash.
When she does it, well, you chose wrong, or that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm done.
I agree. I 100% agree, and I'm not against what you're saying, sis. When it comes to men, I cuss out dudes all the time. Listen, man. There's more white men crying, and I got over maybe 3,000. You know what I'm saying? Members in the fraternity of Fathers Equal Rights. 90% of them are white males. Crying, right? And a lot of them have drug issues. A lot of them have, housing issues. And here's the thing, though, right? Legally speaking, there's something called the 80-20% rule, right? And they kind of mitigated that, in recent times. 80-20% rule is called it's like a law that considers what something becomes a what's the word for it? If there's 80% of a class receiving a benefit and there's 20% receiving less than, right? Another class receiving less than, then there is a disparity, right? It's disparate treatment or disparate impact. What caused the impact is that question, whether it's culturally how men don't show up and don't, take the responsibility, and handle their business. It could be that culturally. And it also could possibly be some of the legal tender and the legal perspectives, within the court system that affect that as well, right? So the court system is not perfect. Neither are men or women. In a lot of these situations, the moment the relationship dissolves, people can have a plan, ahead of time. Like, I will never take my baby from you. And, if we break up, 50-50, it never works out that way when it actually happens. The people are bitter and one person is spurned and the other person, and then the children are stuck in the middle of this. And the main thing is to get the children out of that tug of war, and how do we do that effectively without causing the least amount of trauma, right, to the children, so that they're not traumatized later on, right?
Considering that though,
huh?
I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, most men are not. I'm not saying that most men are.
Most women are. Think about that.
I would say
most
women are. I think women do, and I think sometimes some women don't. I'm not saying all women,
but most women
some
do.
women
say,
are using the children as weapons and weaponizing the children because they're hurt or what have you. I've seen. There's a video out there that's huge, right? There's this video where this woman literally cuts the little girl's braids out because the man on his time went and got the little girl's hair braided. Did anyone see that?
That is not. But you're saying she cut the extension hair off?
No, she tore that girl hair up.
Okay, now hear me out. And then I gotta let Sheikah get in here. That is not the typical mother. The typical mother would
I'm just saying it happens.
No, but I know you're just saying this.
I wasn't finished though. I had a little bit more to say.
No. I gotta let her
point that I need to bring out.
But you're more long. You're doubly long-winded than I am. So that means that you're the longest talker in the world. So
I could be.
But I'm worse. I'm worse. I thought I was worse. We're kind of.
Did I just get one little more
point out? Yes, and then
I promise I won't. I promise I won't.
I know what it's like.
Yeah. So real quick. So there's also something. That in law, right? So legally speaking, all of the courts, from family court to business, trade and all of that stuff. There are certain laws that kind of are similar, right? And they go through all of it, right? So it's there. And there's that one thing, what is like 9/10 of the law is possession, right? So when a woman immediately has a child and a man is in the situation. If they're not married, then he has to either file for punitive father's rights because, of course, it's easy to figure out who the mom is, not so easy to figure out who the dad is. If the woman was married prior to, and she's separated from her husband, but yet she's still married to him, and she has a baby with another man, that man he has absolutely no rights because automatically the courts assume that the married husband is the parent to those children. That's another hurdle that men have to actually try to jump over when they are dealing with the family court system. Not blaming women. I'm talking about the family court system. You had a child with a woman who is still legally married. You now have to fight the fact that the courts are going to consider that dude the father automatically. So you have to go to punitive dad and file all those paperworks and stuff just to try to get custody of your children. That's another hurdle. So I'm just saying. And so the 9/10 of the law, once you get the social services, the DSS, that is also documentation. You taking the child to the hospital, all that. Dads, take your kids to the hospital.
Great. Now let me let her go, and I see how long.
Okay, I'm done. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, no, you're good. But I do want to add this again. You notice how the single mother has to jump through hurdles and hoops to make sure that people watch her. They watch. She's signed up. I'm the one. I'm the sole. I have sole custody. Are you taken to the doctor? Did you do the dental checkup? Did you get their eyes checked?
Right.
Let me see. Did they get breakfast in the morning? Are they getting enough sleep at night? Why aren't their grades good? You know, this is going to come into your permanent record we have to investigate your children. And the dad's just like, so when do you want me to come get the kids? That's the problem. And then the insult to injury is when they kick back. They're second. They're not the primary. When we're talking about family assistance or whatever you call it, we're talking about DES. Then the insult to injury is he gets on the mic. He tells his family. He tells his new girlfriend, back to what happened to Romeka. Oh, she been doing me wrong. Look I've been trying with my son, and she won't let me see him. Liar! You're not Zion. You're not doing half. You're not even doing a fraction of what he says he does. You're sitting back. You're going out. You're talking about, oh, this is my son. You see him at a basketball game? Oh yeah, I was there.
Right.
And
if he shows up, you know what I'm saying? If he shows up to the basketball game.
If he shows up. And then, but guess what? The mom, I see my son is bored. Oh, I got to think of what I can do. Ding, ding. Better parent. Not what you need. Oh, you decide to do basketball. Here's some check for shoes and a ball and a uniform. Here's the check. No, she said, my son's not winning his games. I'm gonna try to get him this other shoes. And damn, he's screaming at me, saying, "Mom, it's your fault. Mom, it's your fault. Daddy. Daddy, really? Oh, okay." Then get on the internet. Then they get on the internet, and then they start telling us, well, these are the reasons, and you guys, it's your Black women, and no, you're not there. You're not, and now you're trying to pray. Shika, I'm gonna hand it over to you, but let me say this because she taught me, this woman taught me. I used to be different. They're the ones, whenever you show them, well, oh, you're right, okay, maybe it is me. I'm gonna try to be better. Oh, I'm back. Guess what? I'm being better about what you said. Thanks for that advice. But right here, it says that you did this and this and that. Oh, here we go. See, I had sex with you and had a baby, but you chose me wrong. It was your fault. What? Shika, talk to them about this situation.
That's a fact, though. That's true. That's true. I hear it all the time.
Thank you for letting me go. Thank you.
I hear it all the time. You're right.
Well, I gotta say this and then I gotta go because I gotta be.
I know, me too. I'm gonna close out. I appreciate y'all being here so late, but talk on that.
That is the most frustrating thing because you chose wrong. Then a lot of you must be wrong. That's the problem. Okay, so that many of you are wrong with the high amount of single mothers that we have. And then that study is poorly used. Oh, there was a study that says that men are so involved. No, that is in two situations, inside of the home and outside of the home. And most Black men are outside of the home, and that column had the least amount of parenting going on.
You got to say it again, Shika. I got to put you on the big screen so I can drop a bomb. Repeat that because I'm tired of them using that skewed information. Go ahead, say it again.
So a lot of men like to use the study that, oh, look, Black men are the most involved in their child's life, but they don't read the study correctly. The study is measuring in two circumstances, inside of the home and outside of the home. Yes, Black men in both circumstances are more involved. However, more Black men are outside of the home, meaning that they're doing more of the parenting.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I was about to say you covered it. Thank you. Yes, more Black men are in the home. Thank you.
Which means that Black men are doing
She didn't say most Black men are in the home, though.
No, she said that there black men who are in the home. So like,
Of course, there are
culturally
some.
speaking, we're actually equal with white men. Like, people think that we're outside of the home. Even outside of the home,
Zion,
dads
No,
are
you're
still
not.
doing
You're
more than what.
65% of black
Zion,
men
you
are
talking.
outside of the
Wait,
home. It's the
Shika, give me a
majority.
minute. Zion, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put you on the screen, brother.
Yeah.
Zion, you talked a long time. She never interrupted you. Please, even though you're
Okay,
triggered, you
okay,
think so much
pardon.
stuff
So
has been triggered.
yeah,
Let her get it out. Even if you're agreeing, don't jump in.
okay.
And she's getting ready. I don't have to take that from her because that
Yes,
was
ma'am.
completely
Yes,
not
ma'am.
true.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Go
ma'am.
ahead.
My bad. My
No,
bad.
I'm not a czar or like a Gestapo, but let's just let her go because she didn't interrupt you. Okay, Shika, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So
Go ahead.
the study measures in 2 scenarios if the man is in the house or out the house. Black men are largely out the house at 65%. It might be higher now, but 65 at the time of that study, 65%. The other men were mostly in the house. So even though black men parented more in either situation, most of them were out of the household. And when we look at the right of that chart, you see that the parenting on the right, and when you're out of the household, is no more than 30% in every area. That's bedtime, that's eating, that's laundry, that's everything. While white men and Hispanic men are less involved, they're more in the home, so they're parenting to the larger extent.
And tell us, why is it that when the men were in the home, they did less parenting, please? Why? I wonder, what's this phenomenon? Why did they have to do less parenting when they were in the home?
Because the women were in the home with them and doing most of the parenting, and we showed the hours that women spent on parenting versus men. So
go ahead. I just gotta
So, and this is why they're winning in court, because they have the receipts. They have the receipts of the time that they spend with their children, the money that they're spending on their children, the hours that they are missing from work. They have those receipts. And if you want to have 50-50 after a breakup, you need to have 50-50 in the relationship. And I don't think that's a hard ask, because if we're saying that children need both of their parents, they need them whether we're together or not. So
let me hit the bomb on that. That's right. That's right. I know Diane wants to respond. I'm gonna do this from this moment on. Everybody's gonna get 2 minutes because Shika's gotta go. And so the next time you go 2 minutes, Shika, and then we're gonna close out. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Shika is a friend of mine, and she has spent almost her entire night with me. I love you. Peace. We're gonna talk more. Go ahead, Zion. 2 minutes starts right now.
All right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's very true. You know, I am a different monster with that. You know what I'm saying? I could prove that I did all of the work. not a little, you know what I'm saying? 95. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just engaged in my children like that. However, when I was with my daughter, I was the same way. However, I didn't know. I was conditioned to think that the children go, with mom. And I had and she was a daughter. So, you know what I'm saying? Little girls need their mothers, right? Mm-hmm. And so with that, my presumption was it was supposed to go that way. And because I was lax in that thinking that I was doing the right thing by yielding, I actually caused harm. You understand what I'm saying? To my own ability to parent and my daughter's ability to be parented by me. And that's why I wouldn't allow it to happen. Yes, sister, I agree with you. Men, you need to step your game up. You need to be more engaged with your children. You can't cry after the fact if you didn't give 50 or 60 something percent. You need to be engaged with your children. You know what I mean? And also when there's a dissolution of the relationship, you have to be well engaged in establishing those boundaries. That's why I said we need to go to court. Why? Because when you go to court, we establish what the rules are so that there are no conflicts. There is no, oh, I just want to come and pick up the child. Well, I have certain things that I'm doing today and we already made plans, blah, blah. And that becomes a problem. The children are in the middle of a tug of war and there's an argument and somebody wants to blame somebody. Oh, you're trying to keep the babies away from me, blah, blah. And all of that crap. You know how you get rid of that? No, you don't say, oh, we just need to figure it out without no court. And nigga, you want to be lazy.
Great. I need you to go ahead and close out. And then I love your information because a lot
He
of men
wants to be lazy. That's a lazy thought to me. No, you need to get your butt up and get it put on the record. Point, period. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Zion. Y'all, Zion, I invited you. You didn't check your inbox on Facebook. We did a show today. It was excellent.
Oh, yeah, you sent me a link for tomorrow at 9 p.m.
No.
Oh, I thought that was for tomorrow. It said tomorrow at 9 p.m. So I'm like,
that's today. But next time you gotta show up, I'll send it to you again. I'm gonna thank you, Zion. Y'all know he's a debater. Yep. You can see him in these YouTube streets, at all the different platforms. I'm not shouting out anybody besides Son Never,
yes,
HOK.
You know.
So, but Zion, thank you. Stick by and let's hear Sheikah's response. I love you, Sheikah. Thank you so much for you. She has so much to do right now, and she stayed with me. Close out about Romeka, and then give your recap on everything. And go ahead.
Okay, so I definitely want to start off because this is what this conversation started off with. To rest in peace, Romeka Blackman Meeks. It was such a tragic thing that happened, and unfortunately, we have to stop allowing the pot of getting stirred into sisterhood. You know, you don't have to actually consider somebody your friend or your sister to still be a part of the sisterhood. How would you want to be treated in the circumstance if it were you? And so I would always encourage people to, don't go based off of pillow talk or what somebody's telling you about their ex, because most of the time that person is bitter, they're upset, and they're mad that that the relationship has ended. So what I will tell you is, if you're not familiar with the case, Big Keys, he does have like almost daily updates. I hope, Nepal, you're able to get an audience with him and kind of go deeper into that. And as far as, I don't know, I'm in a circle of amazing women, specifically Black women who take care of their children. Most of us do it on our own. We are wealth building on our own. We have careers. We have things in place for our children, generational wealth as well. And so I would tell those who are constantly online, believing the hype, or in Black manosphere spaces and red pill spaces, I pray to God that you are delivered from those spaces. If you have ever seen Exposed the Manosphere, read the comments. The men who were in those spaces, who were delivered, have talked about being isolated, alone, and then spending their money in these spaces, supporting these people who are marrying exactly who they're telling you not to marry.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so please be delivered from those spaces. Be an equal parent with your spouse, partner, whoever you create a child with. Be an equal parent at the beginning. It is not a woman's role to baby you, to take care of you. It is your role together to take care of that child. Partner with women. Let go of the Oedipus complex. Okay, she is not your mother. It is not your chance to be the parent. It is not your chance. If you want to lead, you lead by example. First and foremost, you negotiate, you compromise, you communicate. Those are leadership skills. And if someone has told you don't have those skills, then you haven't been much of a leader. It is a skill that actually can be studied, and we need more of it in our community. And I just really hope that we do better. And when I bring light to these things, that is my goal. Whether or not you agree with it or not, that is my goal. So I like a little bomb there.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, thank you so much to you, Sheikah. Thank you so much to Zion. Before everybody goes, and I know you're tired, and I love you for that. May the tiredness bring you so much peace and be refreshed. Don't forget to get the tickets. Thank you, H. Millette, for being here. Get the tickets where I beat up Yara on December 27th. There's the flyer for that. Zion Warchild before me will be doing a debate on the 20th right here at the toughest environment. Wow, you guys. Oh my, they left. I don't blame them. Damn, they're tired. StreamYard was like, you're done. I'm cutting it now. So let me take this off the screen and say goodnight to everybody. That was crazy. StreamYard was like, no, gotta go. Peace to Shika Tiba. Peace to her family. Peace to Zion Wardchild. Peace to his family. Peace to the families and the loved ones of the people who stuck with us. H. Millette, I see you. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the mods who joined in, all the audience. How did you like the show today? Stand on it. I hope you loved it. I'm going to play the outro song. I like this song. Shout out to Melanin Legacy. Shout out to Fatty. And shout out to the one and okay, I'm going to try this one more time. What the heck? I was shouting out to everybody, showing the show that we debuted today, and I was saying first and foremost, last but not least, shout out to Sonnetter. Thank you so much for doing this for me and for everybody. Thank you so much for the love. If it cuts off again, y'all, that's just it. But I just want to say, Sonnetter, you always are there, giving everybody an opportunity, not just me, everybody an opportunity. So peace and love to the one and only, the legend, the proto. So it's 2:00 here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you. And like I said, I'm gonna leave you with this right here. Peace.
but your chest don't fold though.
Step aside, let the truth unfold. If you say it once, you gotta hold.
No scripts, no safe replies. Truth hit hard, no alibi.
Say it clean, say it plain. Pressurize when the room go quiet.
Everybody bold till it's time to stand. Words get heavy when they in your hands.
Laugh it off or testify, but what you say gotta justify. Say it strong if you say it here.
Don't walk back when the line unclear.
Lights on, check, go live. Can you stand when the tone's
Say it loud, don't back away. Say it now, no fade away. If you said it, that's your zone. Say it once, then stand on it. No disguise.
Don't switch up tone.
Say it proud,
Stand on your own.
if you spoke it, that's your script. Say it once, stand on it.
Purple moon, blacked out truth. I don't speak unless it's proof. I've been right, I've been wrong. Still I stand on every song. Honesty ain't always sweet. Sometimes sharp when worlds collide. I'd rather face it in the light than rewrite it later on live.
No hitters when the truth go live.
Stand on it,
Stand on it,
stand on it,
stand on it.
stand on it.
Ready, bring the energy. Not part, keep it clarity. Million in legacy, hold the line. Different minds, one mic, one time. Tuesday night, 9 p.m. EST.
NC,
Real talk only, nothing less.
purple gold,
Purple gold,
blacked out.
without grid. Say it once, stand on it.
If you said it, that's your zone. Say it proud.
Stand on it.
No backpedal, no counter. You said it.
Stand on it. If you said it,
If you said it, that's your zone. Say it proud.
stand on it.
No backpedal, no counterfeit. You said it.
Stand on it.
Stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on
We are the babies of Sarnetta. We are emulating the greatness of Sarnetta, the HOK, the House of Consciousness, and the trailblazing work by the one and only Sarnetta. And I told Sarnetta, because we your babies, Sarnetta, because we your goddamn babies, we gonna be successful, bruh.
Welcome to the danger zone. Save your own, make it known. We here to take the throne by intellectually breaking bones. Unveil the secrets of ancient Rome. Take it back and bring it home, cause information is not to remain unknown. You think you got what it takes to rock in the Coliseum? They put restraints on our minds, man, we gotta free 'em. With gladiator fights, man, it was crunch. The Coliseum is the place where the animals hunt. You little chat rat, always in the back chat, talking this and that back. Step in the Coliseum, a bad bet. I eat the lunch right out your knapsack. Take the king for his diamonds. The ace of spade is a blackjack. This is more than a rap track. It's y'all letter. Vespasian got nothing on Emperor Sarnetta. And never mind them other YouTube channels. This what you call better. You better call never. Step into the
We
Coliseum.
done stepped in the debate Coliseum. HOK on the tube. Sarnetta, he's the leader. Got no pause, she's the queen, but she's still a fire breather. When you step in the ring, come correct her, she gon' reach a G. The ass never lax. He gon' hit you with the facts. Tour nights in the building, so we gotta run it back. For the debate, pick a date, call them out, don't wait. When you bringing out the truth, haters coming with the hate. Time to step into some knowledge, but it's nothing like your college. Debate Coliseum, bringing scholars up tomorrow. We got Hebrews and Christians, Muslims and Indians, abos and scientists, atheists and comedians. It's all love with the beef big, conversational arguments. Viewers, judge and jury, so we come together like Parliament. It's the House of Consciousness. Bring your source, we following. HOK debate Coliseum, bring your scholarship.
Toughest environment in the Coliseum. Welcome to the HOK debate Coliseum. That's
word is Sarnetta. Our sword remains sharp and theirs all severed. Toughest environment, you know we gotta seal. Till they head falling off into the Coliseum. Don't they know this that HOK? Source up, a man down, DOA. Seen plenty of them crawl in the center of it all. Can't stand on your square, the sinner's gon' fall. Acting brand new, we more brand Nubian, Julian. A scene of our own brings your hoodie in. Linked with Ampu, arms horizontal. Building with my eye on the horizon beyond you. It's the judgment now, and we the trio. Warrior poets who get the flowing like the griots. Grab you by your neck, choke slam you through the peephole. For banging on the house of consciousness. People, we here, we here, we here. I said we here, I said we here, we here. But did you hear, but did you hear? Toughest environment, we gotta see them. Welcome to the HOK debate Coliseum. I said we here, I said we here. But did you hear, but did you hear? Toughest environment, we gotta see them. Welcome to the HOK debate Coliseum.
We are the babies of Sarnetta. We are emulating the greatness of Sarnetta, the HOK, the House of Consciousness, and the trailblazing work by the one and only Sarnetta. And I told Sarnetta, because we your babies, Sarnetta, because we your goddamn babies, we gonna be successful, bruh.